So, what if I told you the number one reason businesses fail has absolutely nothing to do with money? Well, today we're going to break down the blueprint of billionaire Mark Cuban. This is the philosophy that took him from literally selling trash bags door to door to building a massive empire. All right, let's dive in. Okay, let's just jump right to the heart of it. This is the one question that Mark Cuban gets asked all the time. What is it? What is the single biggest thing that kills new businesses? And here it is, his answer. It's not about running out of money. It's not about who you know. It's not even about having a bad idea. Nope. He says it all comes down to two things that literally anyone can control: how much you learn and how much effort you put in. All right, let's really dig into this idea because it's powerful. For Cuban, business isn't just, business. He sees it as a full-on war of knowledge. So think about it like this, right? Most of us think the game is won with the usual stuff, the traditional weapons, having more capital, a bigger team, all the right connections. But Cuban's whole argument is that your real weapon, the one thing that can beat all of that, is just your raw ability to outlearn and outwork everybody else in the room. Yeah, he really sees the entire business world as this constant, relentless race. And in this race, information is your fuel. So if your competitors know more than you do, well, it's pretty much game over. It's that simple and, honestly, that brutal. And that brings us to this really key idea he talks about, the meta skill. Basically, Cuban says that before you even think about learning stuff like accounting or marketing, you first have to master the skill of learning how to learn. It's about being strategic, figuring out what you need to know, what's most important, and how to absorb it fast without getting totally bogged down. So you might be wondering, was he just born this way? Did he come out of the womb with this mindset? Not at all. Let's take a look at how this whole philosophy was actually forged through his own life, his own story. This timeline, it's not just a bunch of dates and achievements. It's really a story of constantly learning and leveling up. Think about it. At 12 years old, selling trash bags, he wasn't just knocking on doors. He was learning sales. He was learning customer service. He even created a subscription model for his neighbors. Every single step on this path was a whole new industry he had to completely master. So when he had his first huge exit with Micro Solutions, that wasn't just about the money. Yeah, $6 million is a big deal, but it was really the proof of concept. It proved his theory was right, that if he just dove headfirst into a new industry and flat out outworked and outlearned everyone, he could actually win. And this right here is so important because it shows you what really drove him. Money was never the final goal. It was just a tool. For Cuban, having wealth meant having freedom. The freedom to control his own time, to chase his own ideas, and just live life on his own terms. That was the real prize for him. And wow, does this just show you the insane scale of that philosophy in action? He and a college buddy basically saw the internet was coming and asked a super simple question. Hey, how can we listen to basketball games online? That's it. That one question, plus a ton of relentless learning about this brand new thing called online streaming, turned into broadcast.com and a personal net worth of over $300 million. Just incredible. Okay, so how does this huge, big picture philosophy actually translate into your day-to-day money habits? Well, let's get into his practical rules for financial freedom. And you might be surprised at how simple and how disciplined they really are. He really breaks it down into 3 simple, logical steps. And this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Not at all. It's about building a super solid foundation first. Step 1, spend smart. Then you build your safety net. And only after that's done do you even think about investing for real growth. Okay, here are the nitty-gritty details. And you gotta notice the discipline here. He's talking live like a student. Avoid credit card debt like it's the plague. And look for guaranteed returns. He literally talks about buying toothpaste in bulk when it's half off. That's a guaranteed return. Then you build that 6-month emergency fund. And once all of that is safe and sound, then he says you can take a small slice, like 10%, and put it into some high-risk, high-reward stuff. But woven through all of his financial advice, there's this one investment that he absolutely guarantees will pay off more than anything else. He truly believes that just spending 1 hour every single day reading and learning will give you a better return than any stock, any startup, any investment you could possibly find. All right, so we've talked about knowledge. We've talked about financial discipline. But what's the one skill that kind of ties it all together? This secret weapon? The one habit that he has used consistently for 40 years. Just think about it for a second. What could it be? It's not coding. It's not being a great public speaker. It's not even being a shark negotiator. No, it's something that we all think we do, but very, very few of us ever truly master. The answer is so simple. It's listening. And what's wild is that he freely admits he was not a natural listener at all. He was a talker. He was the guy who'd interrupt, who wanted to be heard. He had to consciously, actively train himself to become great at it. And this was the piece of advice that changed everything. When he was just 22, a mentor gave him this super simple instruction. He said, every meeting you go into, take out a notepad and just write one word at the top. Listen. And for the next 40 years, Cuban did exactly that. It was his physical reminder to just be quiet and absorb everything. And this is exactly why he calls it a superpower. See, when you're truly listening, you're not just being polite. You are gathering intelligence. You're getting to the real root of a problem, not just what's on the surface. And you start to spot the opportunities and the dangers that everybody else who's just busy talking completely misses. So in the end, Mark Cuban's blueprint shows us that huge success doesn't just come from some billion-dollar idea that pops into your head. No way. It's built brick by brick with simple, disciplined, daily habits. Learning something new, saving your money, and maybe most important of all, listening. And that kind of leaves us with a really powerful question to ask ourselves. What are you going to make an effort to learn today?